This is ABC 7 News at 6.
The nurses' strike at Holton Regional Hospital stretched into its second day today. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. They say they are protesting management's refusal to address their concerns about emergency department staffing and the impact on patient care. The nurses have been negotiating a contract for over a year and a half. Holton Regional Hospital has also released a statement saying, quote, "We are extremely disappointed with this action by the nurses and their union. This decision comes after mutual agreement to utilize mediation to support contract resolution. A mediator has been assigned and the initial discussions with representatives of both HRH and the union began last week," end quote. The statement says the nurses were offered a 21% pay increase over the duration of the 3-year contract as well as benefit enhancements. It says the hospital will remain open and provide care for patients during the 4-day strike. Well, Northern Light Health is expanding its cancer care capabilities thanks to a major donation from a Brewer resident. Our Alex Schley tells us how officials say the donation will help expand care and bring advanced treatment options closer to home.
Wednesday, Northern Light Health announced a major donation that will establish a brand new center dedicated to cancer care. Brewer resident Jim Giro has donated $10 million to establish the Jim and Kathy Giro Center for Genomic and Advanced Therapies for Northern Light Cancer Care at the Lafayette Family Center Institute in Brewer.
Building on the genomic research led by Dr. Sarah Sinclair, the Medical Director of Research and Medical Oncology for Northern Light Cancer Care at Eastern Maine Medical Center, the establishment of this center represents a transformational leap forward in access to clinical trials and advanced cancer treatments for Mainers.
The donation honors Jim Giro's late wife, Kathy, who passed away from cancer in 2022 after receiving treatment at the facility in Brewer.
His wife, Kathy, was treated for cancer historically, and he's establishing the Jim and Kathy Center for Genomics and Advanced Therapy in honor of, in memory of his wife.
Doctors say cancer care is rarely one size fits all, and that genomic medicine allows clinicians to better target treatments based on the unique biology of each patient.
And when we talk about genomic medicine, what it means is that we are studying the biology of the tumor, looking at specific mutations within the tumor so that we can learn more about the tumor and what targeted therapies may be most appropriate and most effective for the patient.
Officials say they expect the center will be up and running by the end of the year, expanding access to advanced care and keeping more patients closer to home for treatment. In Brewer, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news tonight, the Penobscot County Grand Jury has indicted a man on attempted murder charges. Bangor police arrested 35-year-old Jeremy Trudeau at a building on Summer Street in March after multiple people reported a man was inside with a knife threatening to kill people. One person told police she had a protection order against Trudeau and she found him waiting for her outside. Multiple witnesses said they saw Trudeau chase the woman into the building while she was screaming for help. Witnesses also reported they saw Trudeau cause damage to the door after the woman barricaded herself inside. In addition to the attempted murder charge, the grand jury also indicted Trudeau on other charges, including domestic violence, criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, and terrorizing with a dangerous weapon. And a large police presence was seen on Essex Street in Bangor earlier this morning. Authorities are not offering many details as to what was going on there, but the FBI has confirmed they were, quote, conducting court-authorized activity. They declined to comment. Beyond that, we'll bring you any updates as we get them. A fire along a road in Newburgh this afternoon is prompting officials to remind folks to use caution when disposing of lithium batteries. Just after 12 o'clock, a trash truck driver says he noticed smoke coming from the back of the truck. The driver then dumped the load along Murray Road, a move fire officials say likely prevented a more serious situation. However, once the trash was exposed to oxygen, crews say the fire quickly grew. Firefighters from Newburgh, Carmel, and Etna all responded to the scene. Officials say a lithium battery is likely the cause.
Uncommon, not really, especially when you get into things in modern homes, especially like lithium-ion batteries. All it takes, even a fully discharged battery like that, is not fully discharged. There could be some stuff left in there, and all it takes is something crushing that. It can create its own heat, its own oxygen, and it can create its own fire. 1,500 degrees like that.
Fire officials say they were able to quickly get the flames under control. An excavator was later brought in to help sift through that material. Well, more than $5 million in grants is being awarded to towns and cities in Maine. The money will be used for community projects to help improve resilience in the face of severe winter storms and reduce costs to taxpayers through energy efficiency upgrades. The grants are through the state's Community Resilience Partnership program created back in 2021. Grantees in this round include the city of Calais, which is getting $75,000 to upgrade sidewalk fixtures that last longer and use less energy. The Holton Band of Maliseet Indians is getting almost $75,000 to replace oil furnaces with more energy efficient and less polluting heat pumps. And Monhegan Island is also getting $75,000 to develop engineering plans to raise and rebuild their town wharf, which is the sole access point for boats and ferries. Well, the Brewer American Legion is working to identify the graves of veterans and is asking the community for help. Legion Commander Gary Freeman says there are an estimated 250 veterans who have been laid to rest in Oak Hill Cemetery. Many of those gravestones are worn and faded, some nearly unreadable. To honor their lives and thank them for their service, the Legion is raising money to buy grave markers for veteran burial sites.
It feels really good because they are the men and women, because of their sacrifice, whether it's all the way back to the Revolutionary War to the current campaign that we're in now. They sacrificed their time and some of them their lives so we could be free, and so it is a huge honor.
Well, the Legion needs to raise a total of $7,500 for those 250 markers to help them with that mission. You can contact the Brewer American Legion. We'll have more information and coverage a bit later this evening. And for right now, let's turn our attention to the outdoors and get a first look at our forecast.
Thank you, Beth. Another hot one out there for today. Low 80s made their way here into Bangor, 82 degrees for our high. That sea breeze did catch you again in Bar Harbor, keeping you the upper 70s, still very warm, right? Upper 70s as well for Millinocket, but here's that front that we saw for today, keeping you much cooler for highs up near Presque Isle with your high only at 61 degrees this afternoon. So as you see for tonight, we'll have some partly to mostly cloudy skies at times. Going to be seeing more cloud cover as you get towards the early morning hours with that chance for a few scattered showers as well. But as we get throughout the day, throughout your Thursday, more dry air is going to be moving in from the north, so you can see most of those showers kind of fizzle out. It's going to be hard for them to reach the surface, so most likely staying dry throughout your Thursday afternoon after a few showers early on in the morning. So keep that in mind throughout your Thursday, but overnight tonight, the chance for a few scattered showers is out there, just going to arrive a little bit later throughout the night, so you'll see more increasing clouds, and lows tonight staying pretty warm, right around 50 degrees. Beth?
Chase, thank you. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, a look at another candidate as we head towards the June primary.
Graham Plattner says police officers are all bastards. He makes racist comments about black people. And if you disagree with Plattner, he calls you retarded and a fag. Read more here. Pine Tree Result Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle wreck, call 855 Iron Law today. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. We protect our own.
Do you take propane tank?
Anything goes.
How about cardboard?
Anything goes.
How about old rug?
Yeah, anything goes.
So this too?
Furniture removal, basements, garages, attics, hoarder houses. It doesn't matter here at Anything Goes Junk Removal. Anything goes. Well, almost anything.
We need to shake up Augusta. But who will do it? An insider or an outsider? The insider is Bobby Charles, a D.C. lobbyist for 25 years. The outsider? Jonathan Bush, a conservative businessman and disruptor. Bush is the only candidate who's created hundreds of jobs in Maine while reducing waste and fraud. and Bush will slash your property and income taxes.
I'm Jonathan Bush. Let's shake up Augusta.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something. And maybe you got it too.
Just announced. Get 2.9% APR on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. Or get $6,000 total cash allowance, plus an additional $1,000 when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
20 years of bigotry and hate from Graham Plattner. He calls police officers all bastards, and Plattner insults black people, saying they don't tip. Read more at bigotedplattner.com. Pine Tree Results Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
As Maine's primary election approaches quickly, we want to give our viewers a deeper look at the candidates they'll potentially be voting for. Today, we hear from Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Graham Plattner.
I was born and raised in Sullivan, Maine. I grew up here. I joined the Marine Corps and served in the Marine Corps in the United States Army overseas, and came home after my combat service, really looking for a way to define my life. My combat service was difficult. I served in the infantry and in 4 deployments, saw a fair amount of combat, and it was coming back to Maine and moving back to my hometown that really allowed me to feel a sense of fulfillment and community again. And that really brought me back down to earth and allowed me, frankly, to build a really fulfilling life as an oyster farmer and diver in my hometown. And that's what I was doing right up until I decided to run for the United States Senate. We have a political system that for a long time has not represented the interests of the average American. People that work day in and day out and struggle to make ends meet. Even those who feel pretty successful this day and age, every single time you look at the gas bill, every single time you look at your utilities, every single time you look at your tax bill, you start wondering, can I actually make this work? I think the reason we are in this situation is that we've had politicians who don't come from the real world. People who have spent a lot of time in places of privilege or have just spent a lot of time in places of power and have forgotten that when they make decisions, it means material things to real people. And I very much believe that we need to build a politics in which regular people, working people, have the ability to be in the political system. Because we're not going to have a politics that represents us until we have a political system that's representative of us.
Meanwhile, Republican gubernatorial candidate Jonathan Bush announced leadership for his campaign by naming his county chairpeople. Via Zoom today, Bush introduced a chairperson for each of Maine's 16 counties. They include former state lawmakers and a lobsterman. Bush says these county chairpeople will be lining up folks for him to meet with and hear from to gain perspective, as well as something as simple as putting out lawn signs.
I've been involved in a lot of grassroots efforts over the years. And what's obvious this time and this year is that the grassroots effort is interested in turning our economy around. And Jonathan is the person to do that.
Jonathan is the right person because we need his sophisticated leadership in business to help us remove some of these bureaucratic strangles that we're having. Growth is stopping in Maine.
Again, the primary election is on June 9th. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll have sports and your full forecast. Stay with us.
They say this movement came out of nowhere, but they don't know Maine like we do.
This came out of a whole lot of somewheres.
From lobstermen who've worked too hard for too long, only to be pushed to the brink.
From towns where the closest hospital is hours away.
From workers who pay more in taxes than billionaires.
Loggers who've endured for generations only for tariffs to make things harder.
Young people who want to own a home to call their own.
Seniors ready to demand the dignity they deserve.
For decades, the powerful have taken.
piece by piece,
Store by store.
hospital by hospital.
Shore by shore. They have taken.
They took so much, they began to think we didn't even exist at all.
But they don't know Maine. They don't know the power that we have here. We are taking back what is ours.
I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message.
Over 250 years ago, we didn't like the taxes, so we dumped the tea. Today, that same unstoppable spirit drives Ram. Now with the Ram Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our allegiance to the American people. 0% financing for 60 months on select 2026 models, or we'll cover your sales tax, plus no monthly payments for 90 days, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Because a promise means nothing unless you back it up. Nothing stops America. Nothing stops Ram.
Starting in May 2026, Maine Paid Family and Medical Leave gives eligible workers up to 12 weeks to take the time needed for parental and family care, medical, military family, and safe leave. With partial wage replacement, your income stays protected, giving you peace of mind. Leave is flexible, portable, and available to self-employed Mainers who elect coverage. Maine Paid Family and Medical Leave. It's how we care. It's who we are. Benefits begin May 2026. Learn more at maine.gov/paid leave.
Hey, Maine, think you're wicked smart? Well, put your knowledge to the test with me, Ken Jennings, on Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Folks, the Ellsworth baseball team is absolutely rolling this year as the Eagles are looking to get back to the Class B state title game. The Eagles are 13-1 with that one loss coming to undefeated Washington Academy in Class C, but they've won 7 in a row since that point. And when you ask the Ellsworth seniors what their key to success is, it sounds like they've got a lot working for them.
No, I think we're just playing well as a team. I mean, right now we're hitting the ball well, pitching, we're doing good. No, it's not easy though. 13-1 on paper, but we've gotten really lucky. Down the stretch, we made some great plays and just made some game-winning plays.
Honestly, I think our pitching and our defense definitely been our strong suit so far this year.
We're a family. We do everything together, whether we're at the field. If not, we're usually doing something together. Like, it's awesome. I've never been a part of something so special.
With just 2 games remaining in the regular season and graduation around the corner, it's a very emotional period for the 3 Eagles seniors, and they're just hoping time slows down over these next few weeks. Who's my guy in the...
I know, it's crazy. When I walked in freshman year, it never felt like this day would come, but it went by way faster than I could imagine.
My freshman year, I had a teammate who's a senior told me that, take it all in because you never know how fast it'll go. It sounds a little corny now I say it, but it really does go by pretty fast. You really don't know of how fast it is until it's there.
I don't even want to think about it. I mean, I love baseball and I love the team. I can't imagine what it's gonna be like when it's over. Hopefully it's good, but yeah.
Hopefully those 3 seniors cherish every moment. Good luck to the Eagles as they begin playoffs in a few weeks. Let's go national and talk some hockey, specifically the NHL playoffs. The Vegas Golden Knights have just punched their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Golden Knights face the star-studded and President Trophy-winning Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals, and they didn't just upset them. They swept the Avs, an outcome almost no one expected from a team that fought just to make it to the playoffs this season. After a thrilling 3-goal comeback on Sunday night, all Vegas needed was to make the finals win one on Tuesday night. The road to that goal started 5 minutes into the first when Mark Stone scored on a breakaway, and they all but locked up the win in the third period when Cole Smith tipped in a shot from the blue line. Head coach John Tortorella, who was hired 9 games before the playoffs, says this opportunity is a dream come true.
I'm thrilled for the opportunity, thrilled to be along the ride with them. Now we're playing for I consider the first 3 rounds playoffs. The last round, that's when you play for the Stanley Cup. We have an opportunity to play for the Stanley Cup now.
And that is a black bear right there. That's all the time we have for sports for now. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Jack. Your evening weather is brought to you by Rogan's Memorials. Give the gift of comfort through thoughtful planning with locations in Bangor, Bucksport, and Lincoln. All right, another hot one out there for today. Low 80s here in Bangor, and you saw that stretch all the way down to the southwestern portion of the state where, again, some mid 80s were out there, 84 in Sanford and Freiburg for today. But you can see where the temperatures were affected by that front, much cooler up north. 67 in Clayton Lake for today, only 61 degrees for your high in Presque Isle. But many of us tonight, right around 50 degrees for those lows, except further north where you saw the effects of the front earlier today. Low to mid 40s for you, but still fairly warm for overnight lows. Now, as we get into tomorrow, it's going to be a difference out there with temperatures. You're going to see much cooler air in the area due to cloud cover. We can still reach into the low 60s here in Bangor. Could be pretty tough to do, but it's possible. But as you can see further north, a big difference in temperatures. You're going to be right around those low to mid 40s for highs up in the northern tier of the state. So the average highs this time of year getting close to 70 degrees. Well, much of this week into the weekend and the beginning of the work week is going to be spent below average. We're going to have some highs in the 50s for Saturday. A lot of cloud cover, low pressure making its way through, bringing some rain showers, especially for the Bangor and coastal regions. But as we head into next week, we do look to reach back above average into the 70s then. So yes, it's going to be a little bit of a cooler and wetter pattern for throughout the next few days. So as you see for wind speeds out there, they're from the northwest now. That front is just here making its way towards the coastline. So here we are. We got 15-mile-per-hour winds here in Bangor, 18 in Millinocket. That's gusting near 25 at times. We're going to see that wind die down a little bit for tonight and pick up again from the north for tomorrow. So as you can see, more increasing cloud cover throughout the night with that chance for some showers late. Here's right around the 6:30 a.m. hour. They're going to be isolated in nature, so not everyone is going to get a shower. And as we move throughout the day, we're going to continue to have dry air moving in at the surface from the north, so you can see those showers kind of fizzle out. So we'll stay pretty dry throughout the afternoon hours due to all that dry air at the surface not letting any of those showers reach the ground. So keep that in mind again throughout your Thursday afternoon. As we go into your Friday, there will be another low pressure system arriving from the west, but again, that dry air is still going to be at the surface, so you can see a few showers popping up here, but again, it's going to be very hard for them to reach the ground. So most likely, we are looking to stay pretty dry throughout your Friday afternoon as well. We'll have better chances for rain heading into Saturday after that low makes its way into the state. So for tonight, lows in the low 50s. Pretty warm out there for tonight due to cloudy skies and a few scattered rain showers moving through. They'll be arriving a little bit later throughout the night. Winds staying pretty light from the north, right around 5 to 10 miles per hour for tomorrow. That breeze will pick up gusting near 20, but still highs in the low to mid 60s. Some of us may be a bit cooler, especially the further north you go. And yes, that chance for a few showers early on, but by the afternoon, that dry air moves in and we're looking to stay pretty dry. So here's a look at your extended forecast. We do have a cooler pattern on the way. 60 for your Friday, pretty cloudy out there, but staying dry. Then the chances for rain showers move in Saturday with highs only in the mid to upper 50s. We do warm up back into the low to mid 60s for Sunday and the Monday, but we do look like we're seeing another chance for rain showers Monday afternoon. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much. And there is still more local news to come right after the break.
For 20 years, Graham Plattner has shared his hateful and bigoted beliefs online. Police officers who keep us safe, Plattner says they're all bastards. Black people, Plattner insults them and says they don't tip. And if you dare disagree with Graham Plattner, he calls you retarded and a fag. 20 years of nonstop bigotry and hate from Graham Plattner. Read it yourself at bigotedplattner.com. Pine Tree Results Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Motorcycles are not as easy to see as you think. A driver's blind spot is a biker's worst nightmare. And distracted driving is at an all-time high. Joe Bornstein's office would like to remind drivers that May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. So look twice. You could save a life. And for those who ride, keep Joe by your side. The law offices of Joe Bornstein, Maine's motorcycle lawyers.
Serving is more than a tradition. It's a call, and you've answered it. It's your legacy, and it deserves to be recognized. That's why we're proud to extend exclusive offers to military personnel active or retired. You move this country forward, and we're riding with you.
Get this low-mileage lease on this 2026 Chevrolet Equinox for around $299 per month. Plus, eligible military personnel can get $1,000 bonus cash on most Chevy models.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $7,000.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
Spring is here and the rebates are huge with Valley Home Services. With the quiet and efficient Fujitsu Airstage units, there's never been a better time to buy. And with Efficiency Main rebates up to $9,500. Plus, Valley Home is offering an additional promotional discount of $750 per system until May 31st. Best of all, everyone qualifies for a rebate even if you've received one before. Spring into home comfort and incredible rebates with Valley Home Services.
Welcome back. AT&T awarded the Augusta Teen Center $10,000, which will finance a new technology program. As part of their nationwide plan to address the digital divide through access to the internet, AT&T's funding is supporting the Teen Center's Computers program, a hands-on digital literacy initiative where students build 3 computers. One goes to the Teen Center, another goes to an outside source, and the third is for the students to keep. External Affairs Director for AT&T in Maine, Ryan Clark, says it's more important than ever for students in underserved areas to have access to the internet.
Making sure that these students are staying involved and staying engaged is so important. The fact that they're actually building the computers is really cool. It gives them some ownership and some understanding of how the technology works as well. So it's a really unique program that the Augusta Teen Center is holding for them.
AT&T says the company is committing $5 million to help 25 million people connect to high-speed internet by 2030. Finally tonight, there's a Bangor woman currently in the running for a national art competition. Our Doug Banks spoke with her today and has that story.
Pain, joy, trauma, and healing
Art is my greatest coping skill.
is brought to life through a paintbrush in the hand of Bonnie Woodhead.
I can't imagine a life without that.
Her art studio is her Bangor home.
I lovingly call my art bipolar artistry. Some things are very beautiful and some things are on the other end of that spectrum.
And her masterpieces fill a long-awaited sanctuary.
I like to do a lot with recycled art. Recycled art, I think, is kind of like mirroring my life. You take something that's broken or discarded that nobody wants and you put the pieces back together.
Woodhead says she's a survivor of decades-long personal trauma.
A survivor of domestic violence and child abuse, and I also live with mental illness. I did at one point have a complete mental breakdown, and I've spent a long time coming back from that. The road's been hard at times, but I just got back up every time I fell down.
Her passion to create was sparked when she bought a rock painting kit during the pandemic.
And found out that I absolutely loved it.
Then recently, while scrolling through Facebook, she came across a national art competition.
The People's Artist, sponsored by Johnny Depp.
And on a whim, she signed up.
And then got accepted into the competition, which for me in itself, you know, just being a hometown girl was huge.
People can vote for Woodhead once per day. She's currently in 8th place in her group. To learn how to vote for her, visit the story on our website, foxbangor.com.
I think it's really important for people to see what a survivor looks like. Is life like I thought it would be? Heck no. But it's so much better in so many ways.
In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A beautiful story there, and we certainly wish her the best of luck in that competition. That is going to do it for us, folks. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. Join us for more over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
This is what everyone's talking about.
And the slam!
This is winner take all. It's all happening now on the home of the NBA Finals. Don't miss it, June 3rd on ABC and the ESPN app.
Hi, I'm Tony with TC Hafford Basement Systems. All things basementy. Is your foundation shifting, settling, or cracking? Don't wait till it's too late. We offer the most reliable solutions to lift and stabilize your sinking foundation. With our advanced piering techniques, we'll ensure your home is back on solid ground. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money.
I reached out to someone to try and get a hold of her. I wanted my money back. That's it.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
The nurses' strike at Holton Regional Hospital stretched into a second day today. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. They say they are protesting management's alleged refusal to address their concerns about emergency department staffing and the impact on patient care. The nurses have been negotiating a contract for over a year and a half now. Holton Regional Hospital has also released a statement. Management said, quote, "We are extremely disappointed with this action by the nurses and their union. This decision comes after a mutual agreement to utilize mediation to support contract resolution. A mediator has been assigned, and the initial discussions with representatives of both HRH and the union began last week," end quote. The statement says the nurses were offered a 21% pay increase over the